Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, we come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together as a community and society. We have the vision of being the #1 spiritual leaders community in the world, committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. We truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world. Our mission is to awaken 1 billion people globally. So today, as we align with truth, it's important to talk about money. It's such a big symbol in our culture. And in America, it is huge. We are obsessed with money. And so let's dive into this conversation around money and consciousness. So knowing that money is a symbol of consciousness, that's what it is. Money is worthless. It literally, the actual physical money is worthless. It's backed by nothing. It is a cultural agreement. Henry David Thoreau said, "Wealth is the ability to fully experience life." So I have a story around this. Years back, I was working with a very top, prominent figure in Los Angeles. And he contacted me. He was in one of the leading firms in Los Angeles. He was young, attractive, incredible personality, well-known, respected in the top tier of his industry. He'd been on the cover of magazines. He was in the center of media. And he was just a perfect textbook model for the definition of success, right? High energy, very positive. But little would you know that he spent many sleepless nights, time on end, battling anxiety and recounting stories of broken dreams and wasted opportunities. He felt trapped by his self-created prison cell. He literally was miserable inside. So he came to me because he was sick and tired of suffering from a deep-rooted internal pressure. He had this major pressure to perform. Self-judgment, frequent dialogue in his head that he's not good enough and that would never produce enough fortune. He was literally in a prison within, and no one would know it on the outside, right? He felt like his entire life was contingent upon the bank balance in his bank account. So he felt like he was constantly drowning and battling the insecurity that he wouldn't be able to pay for things, that he was going to run out of money. And, he felt a very high standard, very pressured, in a pressured industry. And he began to get anxiety and feel just angst all the time, felt very inferior. So we began to dive into his subconscious work. And of course, we began to take a look at his belief system surrounding money and decipher the correlation between constantly feeling not being enough and not having enough. So this was a quick epiphany. He, saw this right away, clear in his head. He knew that this was his reality, his belief system, his BS system, right? So it was really driving it was a good thing and a bad thing because it was driving his success, right? The same insecurity was also driving his success from a cultural perspective. But it was also the obstacle that was keeping him from his full potential, because what resists persists, right? So he began to see how he fell into this vicious cycle, the cycle of being overwhelmed, the cycle of not producing enough. And simultaneously, he engaged in the core self-destructive behavior. It was preventing him from doing what he truly desired, seeking and having peace of mind and just abundance of wealth. He wasn't even able to have it, right? He was obsessed with making money. He focused on the feeling of not having enough, and he sent this message to the universe constantly of scarcity, which had to reflect back. So he was not able to keep money. He'd get money, he'd lose money, he'd get money, he'd lose money, and it began to outpicture in his life. So we began to dive deeper, right? We began going into his trauma work, which means basically we'd go into the trauma. And with money, we don't know. We don't know where the trauma is going to be that links in with the concept of not being worthy enough, right? So we just go into all trauma. So we dove deeper and dismantled his thoughts around money and identified the root belief. Early in his life, he was indoctrinated to believe that money is hard to get, that you must fight to keep it, and that money is scarce. And in fact, he realized in one of his trauma sessions was that he believed that people had to kill for money. He remembered and re-experienced a time when he was a little boy in South Africa and witnessing somebody being murdered over money. And in that session, in that moment, he realized he no longer had to fight for money. He was free. He literally received this part of himself that he realized that he had commanded that into the consciousness. And it was playing over and over and over again that he had to fight and die for money. So months later, I received a thank you letter. It was really sweet. And it was raving about how, his life had majorly transformed, how he felt free, and how he was actually able to save a lot of money. It wasn't, a fight for it. It wasn't having disappearing and coming back. And for me, of course, it's great that he's able to save money. But what was even more, miraculous, in my opinion, was that he was being able to live in peace, that he wasn't having this tormented life. And so knowing the truth that you're not here to win the rat race of materialism. You're here to experience the depths of your soul and form. It should be a beautiful dance, but we have to know wherever there's resistance that we have to accept it and not make it wrong. Because if we make the battle wrong, if we make that limiting belief wrong, then we will have it prevail, because what we resist persists. So it's really in accepting all of the dynamics of ourselves. It's a counterintuitive process, right? So the reality is this. Okay, money is just another form of communication in this world. It's literally a flow. Its affluence is a way of being, okay? A mindset that is based on relationships and co-creating and innovation. Your perception of money is based on the reflection of your relationship with it yourself, your self-worth, your self-love. Money is love, an expression of giving and receiving, right? So do you believe you're worthy of abundance? Do you believe you're valuable? The universe reflects your beliefs regarding money. It has to. So take a look at it. What is your perception of money? What does money represent for you? Our culture and, is very obsessed with money in America. And we know the truth. The truth is that even multimillionaires can be miserable. Money does not equate to happiness. There's stats on the amount of money where out over $70,000, it doesn't equate to any more happiness. I'm sure that's different in say California, where money, $70,000 doesn't go very far, right? But the point is that there's a point where you have enough money that doesn't feel like you're living in scarcity. And beyond that, it doesn't make or break someone's happiness. It doesn't make or break their fulfillment. So you have to define that for yourself. What is it that you really are trying to create with money? And what's the game of money? What's that giving and receiving? Because if you can't be happy as you are, as long as you're not living in, not being able to put food on your table, money is not going to make you happy. It's literally a symbol of your consciousness. And we know this. We know this by, scientific data research of knowing that money does not equate to happiness. So, living out of fear, anxiety, and pressure to produce money and need for status all tells the universe that you're living from scarcity, that you want and you do not have. So when you live in anxiety due to faulty thinking, you're sending messages that you're not enough. And the truth is that you are enough. You're worth more than all the money in the world, more than all the gold in the world. You have this creative factor that is infinite in its ability to create. That creative factor, that innovation. Money is simply a symbol of your consciousness. So when you do spend time investigating and taking a look at your relationship with money, you need to think of, where did it come from? What's going on? What do you believe? As you empty the consciousness of your limiting beliefs surrounding money and wealth, what is the first step to awaken is to become conscious of what your beliefs are. We begin to wake up and identify our beliefs. We begin to see what's there. Number 2 is we begin to reprogram, going into your trauma work around money, around all the things that link to it. Beginning to release the limiting beliefs, beginning to wake up to the truth of who you are. And then number 3 is aligning to the truth, aligning to the fact that you are the innovative factor, aligning to your personal truth of what works for you and doesn't work for you in the realm of money and career and all the above. And then finally is affirming every single day in every single way, and knowing your worth, knowing that money is an illusion, right? So we have to do these 4 steps over and over again, knowing that awakening in the realm of wealth begins with awareness. Awareness always first. So what's the next step? Is really embodying the mindset of gratitude, receiving and giving aligning with all that aspect of the flow, the fluence, the current of money. And sometimes you just got to let it go. Deepak Chopra said the word affluence means to flow in the current of life. So this currency is an energetic exchange of energy. It's the way of being, a mindset that's based on relationships and your ability to innovate and co-create. The law of attraction dictates that the secret to wealth is embodying that which you seek. So the instant you declare money more powerful than you become disempowered. So where in life have you handed your power over to money? Where have you declared it more powerful than you? And you need to take the inventory of that and beginning to take back your power. Today is a great day to do it, right? So today, the challenge is to choose abundance. The law of abundance or supply, today's daily universal law, is the law of abundance and supply. And it states that the spiritual truth is that the universe only knows abundance. The entire cosmos is designed with infinite elemental equations, with unlimited combinations. This law is designed to have you align with absolute abundance. When you invert this law or live in scarcity mentality, you will experience feeling bounded and fearful. The reality is you have been endowed with a mind that is immeasurable in its ability to innovate, create new possibilities. Even the material realm is lavish, and energy becomes unbounded through the incalculable synthesis of material particles. Your soul desires for you to awaken to the infinite potential, the innovation within. Let go of lack mentality. The universe is ready to pour wealth onto you. Open your arms and live abundantly. And this brings me to the point that this abundance doesn't have to come through money. It can come through all different avenues. We know that if we just open open our eyes, the universe is abundant. It's waiting to give you everything. We just don't outline it, right? So today's daily spiritual practice is to choose abundance. How disempowered do you feel in the realm of money? How often does money dictate your ability to do what you want to do? How much would your life change if you had more money? What limited beliefs do you have about money, right? For example, only greedy people are rich. You must work hard for money. Money is the root of all evil. All that stuff. What limiting beliefs did your parents tell you about money? What does your culture tell you about money? What do the movies tell you about money? All that stuff. It's time to let go of that and begin to come to your own truth. Part of awakening is a scary thing because you got to let go of all the identity around it. List the times you handed your power over to money and decided money was more powerful than you. Begin to do your inventory, right? And then ask yourself, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do with your time? If money was of no issue, who would you spend your time with? If you won the lottery today, what would you do with the money? Asking yourself this, releasing yourselves from the construct that you're in. Now ask yourself, why do I believe in myself? What has me believing I'm not capable of creating my dream life without winning the lottery, right? You are the lottery. Your consciousness is the lottery. You won. You already are the lottery. You have the most incredible consciousness that has created this entire universe. You are the lottery. And begin to get that, begin to stand in gratitude and have the attitude of prosperity. And I promise your life will change. So what is the impact and probable outcome of your life if you don't do your inner spiritual work and release these limiting beliefs? Well, it's pretty predictable. You can look at your life now because consciousness just recreates its form over and over again. And if you take a look at people's life and you take a look at their money, their relationship to money, you will see their theme of their life, the story that keeps playing over and over and over again like a broken record. You gotta switch it up, pattern interrupt, take and declare your life today, get mad, and know that your birthright is prosperity. So have a beautiful day, you guys, and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin and Soul Society podcast. I'd like to invite you to write a review on iTunes. Also, I have a free gift for you, a money meditation and worksheet, which you can find at soulciety.com. That's www.soulciete.com. Or 30 guided meditations at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. We also hold monthly Soul Society events that are all about transformation and building extraordinary community. You can also watch me live daily on goodmorninglalaland.com or Instagram at drerin.tv. Grab your free manifestation masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams at erinfallhaskell.com/awakening book.